welcome back to Winter 89 Colors. My name is Melissa and I am here today with an update video. I figure I'll throw something from 50 Mythical Miniatures on for you to look at while I chat, but this is basically just going to be me letting you know what the heck happened to me. Yeah, so I am still trying to keep up with 50 Mythical Miniatures. It's the one thing that I've been able to sort of almost stay on top of. Hopefully around the same time that this video goes up, the vote for next month's pages will be on my channel. I'll try to release them roughly at the same time. But basically, I just wanted you to know that I'm still alive. I'm still here. I just haven't had the time or the energy to put a lot into filming and coloring and stuff because I have a lot of other stuff going on in my personal life. So let's start by getting this page rolling and setting the scene, and then we can chat for a minute. So today I am working on, for right now, the Hippocampus, which is page number 24 if you're keeping up with Project Mythical Minis. So as you can see, I've done the background. I used acrylic paint to do the outer blue border, and then on the inside I used various shades of metallic blue watercolor, mostly just cheap ones, and just splashed those on the back there. I wasn't too worried about it getting kind of over the lines and stuff because I figure I'm probably going to go over those lines with acrylic paint pens anyway, so I'm not that worried about it. Now that I've done it, I wish I had filmed it for you guys, but I just didn't have the brain capacity to do that. So, but it inspired me thinking about that I should try to film some things, even if I'm not talking, even if I just do some silent stuff, just to like get the algorithm on the channel going again, because YouTube is starting to get pretty mad at me for not having done anything in a while. So anyways, so I'm just going to start by basing with some Ohuhu alcohol markers, and we'll see how far I get. I've selected R10 Pastel Pink and RV260, which is just pink. And that's what the color I'm going to do the Hippocampus here. So I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope that you guys all have, things to keep you busy and happy, and that you're not missing me too much. I hope I'm not, impacting your life greatly in that way. Hopefully once I get myself back up on my feet, I'll be able to just pick up where we left off. So starting with R10. So where have I been? What have I been doing? That is probably your first question, and that's fair. That's fair. So a lot of you know that I've been on sort of a mental health, what's the word that most fits the situation? Overhaul. Yes, let's call it an overhaul. I've changed my entire life over the past year and a bit. And it's all based on trying to avert this midlife crisis that I've hit. I've realized now, and I'm willing to admit that that's exactly what it is. It is a massive midlife crisis fueled by past and untreated trauma. So I have been dealing with that. I have been seeking treatment and help, and have been off work for almost the entire year because of it. I just haven't had the capacity to do anything really, except for I was coloring, and that's how my channel really got underway, was me having lots of time on my hands because, I didn't trust myself to effectively maintain a job. So what's been happening is that over the past 6 to 8 weeks, I have been training to re-enter the workforce. I have been working with an employment agency that specializes in people with disabilities and mental health disorders, and they have been helping me to get back on my feet. And I did 5 weeks of in-class, quote-unquote, training, which for me was more like socializing, getting used to being around people again. I didn't really need too much help with resume building or interviewing skills. I kind of have some experience, a lot of experience in that. But I needed to be able to trust myself to handle social situations because, most work environments whether you work with customers or not, require that you have the capacity to maintain social relationships. And that was something that I didn't trust myself for. So being around all those people for 5 weeks was helpful. I bonded with many of them and, was able to have fun and laugh and, deal with conflict resolution and all the things that you need to be able to do to be a functional human adult. And so with that, they put me into a placement in a workplace. The job developer I was working with, she was pounding the pavement on my behalf, trying to find something that would fit, and we found one. I am now, for the last 2 weeks, I have been working as a medical office administrator, which has been super awesome, let me tell you. I didn't really apply for any medical office jobs because I was under the impression that I had to have specific medical training for that. I went to school in my younger years for office administration, the general kind, not the specific kind, just sort of the general skills. And I never used it. I never went into that field. I was young and I was dumb and I was kind of like, that's below me. I don't know why I took this in school. This is dumb. I can do better than this, blah, 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 right? Teenagers. Am I right? Yeah. Anyways, so now I'm like, let's tap back into this and use it. So I'd been trying to apply for executive jobs, office jobs, sales jobs, managing jobs, anything that I could use those skills and the skills that I had from my past career to get a new job. And it really was not working out for me. And there's so many places looking for medical admin, but I was like, I can't apply to that because I never took the medical office admin. I only took regular admin. So I just let those opportunities go. I didn't even try to apply to them. But my job developer, she talked to a lady that was running a medical office and let them know on no uncertain terms that I did not have the medical training. But the lady said she didn't care. She was like, honestly, neither did I when I started here. But I just need somebody that can handle the admin side. I can teach the medical side pretty easily. She's like, that's just a lot of memorization and, experience. You can pick that up as you go, but I need somebody with the personality, who is capable of, dealing with the office situation and simply helping me triage things and helping me, answer the darn phone, right? Like, she's like, I just need, somebody who's going to be dedicated to that. And my job developer said, yeah, I've got the girl for you. If you can train in the medical, she's got the rest. And I feel really wonderful that my job developer was so confident in my skills that she really pitched for me. And so I was accepted, and it's been going great. I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's challenging. Don't get me wrong. It's like, working in any kind of medical field is a lot. And especially given that, I had no idea what I was doing going in. And not to mention, it's a very multicultural office. We have 2 people that their main job is translating, because the doctor himself is bilingual and takes on a lot of patients that are of either language, right? And I do not speak a second language. I only speak English. So that was a little intimidating at first, but having 3, if you count the doctor, people that can translate makes it really not that difficult. Not to mention with Google Translate and all this kind of stuff, it could be a lot more difficult than it actually is. It's just really neat actually to see that that's kind of like a really big basis for his practice. So that's really cool. But yeah, I feel like I'm fitting in. It's been about 2 weeks and I'm starting to get a feel for it. I'm starting to get a groove for it. I'm starting to get more confident in saying, yes, I can answer these questions, or no, I need to have somebody call you back. And that's often too what happens with the language barrier too, is the person will, basically only be able to say, not speak English. And you go, okay, phone number, and get their phone number out of them. And then you have one of the translators call, right? That's kind of That's kind of like a big thing too, is unfortunately we just can't help everybody if we don't speak that language. So, but it's nice. It's usually we are able to call them back within the day. So that's really cool. All right, so I've got the hippocampus based. I'm going to do a lot of shading on her, probably add more glitter. I'll do her hooves probably in like a glitter gel pen or something like that. But now I want to do these fishies, and I think I want to do them yellow. Same with the star in her hair. I'll do that yellow. So let's put our pinks away. YO30 and YO50 are my most used yellows, and it's amazing. Like, there's a few yellows in this set, but they're not like there's not a lot of really nice fun yellows or basing yellows to work with. So I'm going to use yellow chiffon. That's YO30 and YO50 Summer Lemon. Hopefully they don't run out on me. Now I do have a backup if they do, but I don't want to break into my backups right now. So but yeah, so that's where I've been. I've been focused on my career and my mental health and everything else. Now, that being said, my new job is great in that the hours are basically 9 to 5, and I even have like all weekend and Fridays off. So money-wise, that isn't the greatest thing in the world because, you know, only working 4 days a week is not awesome for money. But I mean, at this point, it's more about my mental health and being happy with the job than it is about money. Money we'll deal with later, right? So at least I'm bringing in something now. Whereas before I was bringing in nothing because I kept getting rejected for disability. So we're back on the bread making train, which is great. But this also means that I do have a little bit of time on my hands, and I'm not going to say a lot of time because I still do deal with my mental health groups, and I go to my meetings at least 3 times a week, and I'm still doing all that kind of stuff and therapy and all that junk. So I don't have a ton of time, but I have more time than I would at another job, say at my old job where I was working all kinds of different weird shifts and it was all kinds of different hours per week, and I was exhausted all the time. So this should be better, especially once I settle in and I'm used to the job and it's not, mentally as taxing because I'm more used to it and I'm not, constantly trying to absorb everything like a sponge. Hopefully I'll have the capacity at that point to be able to actually, put a lot more time and dedication back into coloring and back into the channel. I'm not going to put a timeline on that by any means because I don't want to push myself and I don't want to disappoint anybody. So I'm just going to say when it happens, it happens. I'll try to keep you posted. But the point is that I am still here and I'm still kicking. The timing has not been ideal. So I will eventually be back, more regularly on here, but just want you to know that life is good, and then the reason I'm not here is good things. So that's always nice to know, isn't it? All right. So how are we going to do the rest of this? So we've got her hooves. I might do her hooves gold, perhaps, to match with the fishies and stuff. Maybe just like break it up a little bit. How are we going to do these bubbles? Should we just do them... Should I try to do them rainbowy, or should I just do them like a light, soft bluish, just to let them blend? Or maybe I can do them glitter. Decisions. All right, well, let's base them in a light blue first. I'm thinking B220 would probably be nice. Let's give them a little base, and I'm not caring about that white spot because I'll just go over it with white acrylic after. Sorry, I know you're a little off screen here. I don't want to adjust every time though. But all I'm doing is filling in these little bubbles. So the next thing I wanted to say is that I am so sorry to all my buddies that I had to cancel, because it's not that I didn't want to do them anymore. It's just that I could not be relied upon to do them, you know? Like I was busy doing other things and I was running behind, and I need you guys to move on with your life until I get everything back in order here, right? Like is crazy. It's crazy. But eventually I will be taking on buddy colors again, but I don't want to do that until I'm sure that I'm dug back into the groove. So just get the eye in here. Same on the fishies, do their little eye. Okay. Next thing is next. We're gonna need a white paint pen. So that I can white out the little white spots in the eyes. I guess we can white out the white spots as well. I think that is what I will do. I will do the bubbles in glitter. Just straight up, like I'll put glue down and sprinkle glitter over them. I think that will look, well, that, or I use Dimensional Magic, like glossy accents, you know? There's a few different options I could go with here. I haven't done this on camera in quite a while, so I have to remind myself to keep the conversation going, right? I mean, I know a lot of you don't care if I keep the conversation going, and you're fine if there's a bit of silence, but it's nice to have things going, so. But yeah, other than all that, honestly, things have been going well. Like, I'm really happy with the direction that my career is taking. I'm really happy with the direction that my mental health is taking. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong. Never will be, right? But given the circumstances, it's pretty much as good as it's going to get for a while. So that's pretty cool. Can't complain about that. The fact that I'm even well enough today that I wanted to do this video was a big sign, I think. This isn't my best white paint pen, but I'm trying to use it up. I have a bunch of them. I bought like a 10-pack of them or something way back in the day. And they're not as opaque as I would like, but that's okay. It's also like, too, the fact that it's Amazon paper and it like absorbs like crazy. The weather here has been pretty spectacular lately. I mean, it's May, so it should be, but I mean, it isn't always. Where I live here in Canada, it's really hit or miss this time of year. Right now, it's like windy and rainy, but it's above 10 degrees Celsius, so I'm really not going to complain. In the last few days before the weekend, it was really nice. Like, it was in the 20s, and that's fabulous. I love summer. It's funny. A lot of summer people are like, oh my God, spring is great. I hate spring. Spring is my least favorite season of all the seasons. I don't know why. Just maybe it's just because of exactly where I live. It's wet and it's rainy and it's gooey and it smells funny and there's mud everywhere and it's just not a nice season. Once it finally gives way to summer and everything starts to dry up and, you know, the heat is more constant and it's not just like annoying drizzle, you get actual thunderstorms and stuff like that. It's nice. But early spring, ugh, what a mess. You can hear my rabbit digging in the background. I went outside and I got her a bunch of dandelions earlier today. And now she's like digging through the pile looking for her favorite pieces. That's what she loves about spring and summer, is that Mama can go outside and get her favorite treats. There we go. I think that's good enough. Sorry, I know some of that was off camera, but once again, I didn't want to like do a whole bunch of adjusting back and forth for you. So now that's done. I'm sitting here drinking iced tea. I think this is what you Americans call sweet tea. It's mostly sugar. Comes in a can. All right. What do we do next? I guess in this case, we'd probably want to do some shading and stuff, right? Well, anyways, I think I've kept you long enough. I'm not going to drag this on. I just wanted to come on and let you know how things are going, you know, where things are at, and what the future of the channel is. And the future is, I'll be back eventually. Like, I'm still around. I'm just dealing with some stuff. So keep an eye out. Feel free to send me a message if you've got questions. And I will see you hopefully soon in the next one. Toodaloo.